Yo, for me, Mama Kwaba, about the Law Lab YouTube channel. Here we dissect and unpack everything legal. Mediane Aaron, Asidu entry. Today is yet another conversation. And before I move to that, I will implore you to like, share, subscribe. And this interview session or conversation is proudly sponsored by LifeMate Furniture Company. LifeMate, the Opa Kunya Papa Bia or Ghana has here one MP phone na etom Kunya free minister. So be biara law lab in phone na no e hwa na ye de yakoje ye de a ye teswa ye de ye adwumenti. LifeMate Furniture Company Limited. Omo North Kaneshi, the industrial area no. Chairman Emmanuel Ifa and Eda no ye adwuma, so you can contact him and get your affordable furniture. Today we are speaking to one fine gentleman I so much admire. He's a lawyer and he's practiced for long. Why corporate, why litigation, why courtroom work, and then what transition to become a member of parliament. And he is not representing any less constituency. He's representing the Menchia South constituency, replacing the MPP's running mate for the 2024 general election, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh. Today we are having lawyer Nana Agyei Baffour Awuah. Chief Akwaba.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Law Lab.
Thank you.
Did he say, oh, yeah.
Yamiado.
Good, good.
Mr. Sakodi no dear. Idia Awadakam.
Okay.
Ted Nana Agyei Baffour Awuah.
Nana Agyei Baffour Awuah.
I say, ye, I can't remember. It know dear when you
Okay.
It was a beard or to be. But the other told no, your friend no, Nana Agyei Sakodi Baffour.
Okay.
The other told no, your friend Nana Agyei Sakodi Baffour Awuah.
Okay.
But Nana Agyei Nana
Okay, so the name is Nana Agyei Baffour Awuah.
That's Sakodi has always been silent.
Okay, right. Lawyer Akwaba Bio.
Yeah, bro.
You've been known through your corporate practice and your litigation, one or two things, representing Yera, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh in a lot of cases. I'm sure so now you're the lawyer. Taking the current good board CEO to court, Samijin fee, all those things. But how has the transition been like, just moving from your private life to become a member of parliament?
Okay, so say adwumane de Nyankopon adom say because Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh some Bruni Bekas were the choicest client tinayana and also because of the dwumadi and wodi enti enu na mankrofo ehu nemum no I've done extensive litigation.
Okay.
So even when I was at Vodafone, na litigation, and I'm here after say 1 year, me a contracts manager for 1 to 2 years. I was contracts manager, and I'm a litigation. Inti, almost say there were a lot of any parliament jumano sebe in Susan's semblance because parliament jumano. One, a advocacy. Two, a analysis. Na difference in the politics and the sociology aspect of it. If you say, I was so in power no more juma not to ma say. Na fi what Ghana force was say. But no cry no. Even in law practice is necessary. Because in law practice, I also to judge I say, so to client I say. Adibu or we are right, but yenka. So that's the sociology and the political side of it. Inti our related skills are to be the politics more. I'm hoping say Nyankopon be madoma ebe so be banfa so amaye. Right.
I think me as a student of law, no, there is this case I read that you were the lawyer, and I so much love your argument in it. Margaret Bamfour and Henry Nana Boakye versus the Attorney General and the Minister for Interior. Yes, on the Gitmo 2 case, you did so well. But fast forward, becoming member of parliament, Yamau DBM, and our committee, that is what I do. I don't know, say, Ebika. That is the subsidiary legislation committee where you are the vice chair, your board first time Apeja Osadi Breno, and also a member of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs, if I'm getting the name right. But because of that, on the 27th of March 2025, because of you being a member of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, that is where special prosecutor and all these constitutional bodies, they bring their matters to, and when we are considering any matter that relates to their offices, mokasa about it. And the first one is to deal with what you raise on the floor of Parliament. That is the OSP. You were commenting on his budget. But first, I would want you to rehash what is your issue about the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Edikai, my main case, a person penina temase say, office no, minishitiano, and a minishitia udipebia or.
Okay.
Yina no Ghana yedi, and I yepe. Ubi office will be also Ghana yedi, no pe. It's in Komoy and Koma, ye bois. Yen sheno dispassionately.
Okay.
Dear na Ghana for ye pay. Ghana for per se a cooketa as a sherry proye. Sene beya ye the 2 me show the pebia and semua. Sebun you to me no far more a bank chrono. A yadi here ye. Maybe a madry says, oh yes, sir. None Ghana for any day, nini ye.
Okay.
If we say, Ketasi sherry proye ya bia. Bruni becanse a short change or minor. Emma sabi resources say ko baabi enye den enko na akogu di pa bi botom no no nko a edi enti se yakase yapese yakuketa asehye ne proya e wase starting have serious discussions about kwan ye fa so a yeko a ebeye yi enura mete se ye mampanyi ka se yente specialized courts are been dealing with corruption mete ye no. Then I felt, let's begin to now have a conversation about the approach to fighting corruption. Is it a case that you be here specialized agencies, specialized courts, na time Office of the Special Prosecutor then a budget ne buy na me shame dino. Emma me conviction say yes specialized agencies no. Confirmed adintia. Bra or didn't the any buy no. Emunana Attorney General so the budget buy.
Okay. Bra OSP
the buy no. Na de chie and Attorney General so the budget buy. To the budget ne buy no. Then minya kwanya say meshe OSP de. No ma she agencies in so a under the Attorney General omonso ketase shere proye. To say a friend is saying Shraj,
okay.
Any Yoko.
Now, OSP budget and you're saying
OSP not up 200 and sometimes a man of 149 million
Ghana cedis.
Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Or 249 staff.
249 staff.
249 staff.
Okay.
Enti Ebane Shano, Mishadi anything. I'm sorry. Obanswa OSP banons what the track record so ye den ebae. It me share the track record no. Not just say in few watch here office no buy no. Yet cases me and sapena air prosecute.
In few watch here Yura Martin Alamisi Kaiser Benz Amidu ebae through to say Yura Kisieja being a take over no. The entire
as
office
of now entire office in 3 cases.
3 cases.
Pena air prosecuting.
Don't mean it.
And there isn't one instance or when conviction day court.
Just say you bua ometima me buo before.
Before. International say case me and sanon and few watch or more day AD.
Lawyer, what can I say? One way we take criminal prosecution as here. Ebe to say the Office of the Special Prosecutor enye eduma. Me kakra mesuana ewo law money say some of these issues are betting the radio so no. One way ubenya botraye investigation kra no. Now there is no legal issue there with my raise wo court. I didn't in America say oral for gada report. A member of the oral a yeyira dom level say these are materials are omodiama area a here audit before so many court. Even oral for no crano, kasi here auditor. You don't think that the special prosecutor Numa Oyi, ya botren wenya na miensa no wetimi ade akuchiri court anase. You mean that
eno ne nkomo no.
Okay.
Eno nyina ne nkomo no. Eno na kire wo se. Eno na ma question kusan ne ba se. Office no yehia na se yenye den yehia.
Let me ask you this question. 149 million.
Eba me kire de wan wi ana mano nipa antini.
Okay.
Show obey investigations. Ansa no akọ prosecute. Enti eno nkyere se eno kire wo se enye se wotena mu ana ayede etu. Dem katma se. Enti yehia agency a ono kwa na prosecute corruption and corruption related offenses. Now with the 149 million my office no would see kapa chase bad money, in some instances wild goose chase. Your institutions of state are almost fight corruption. Are almost proven track record. At say Shraj. And you Agyei John Rawlings. You Agyei John Rawlings. Or tia bain swa na Ghana ubi shru no. You no short no ye Shraj commissioner. Nipa de complaints ko down efa nipa bi e wo Rawlings abem or investigate wo mo make the findings against them
e be info
you PV obey you Agyei Baffour
na safo ya safo mafo no ya
minim se ono dia
okay
but Agyei Baffour se bisabre na PV obey na you refer to him as the prime minister of Rawlings abem. So we keep findings against him.
Okay.
Yera President Kufuor Breso. Ye nyina nim se na na John yera Dr. Anane. We see that President Kufuor akoma so. And so Shraj investigating no, we keep findings against him. Yera John Mahama Awuah no. Shraj investigating no. It's institutions no e wo dada. Omo with the institutional experience, omo build omo capacity over a period of time. The na akape ISC the Shraj, which is a constitutional body and an independent one, and the prosecutorial powers. So to me, the ama OSP no. And no na nka ese the day emano. Nanka wo ye adwuma na ye nyina ye hwehwe se OSP be dey ebeye. And the akwate office for fraud. And the disika. Yoko. Major corruption cases a wokroma e yoko na investigate. And now ya Attorney General here press conference you read one he one occasion investigation. Yoko has been there for ages. Omune was a resource no mo yes adwuma no. So na okwate quantum crow agency. Na wa menisika afiano na o de manual na so what 3 prosecutions are in economics say be a demand and supply me pacho will you say there is a demand for the office
per the war Canada there is no demand but me person me busa a question lawyer I want to understand say the office of the special prosecutor was set up by the former government, the SWAL MPP government, which you served under, na you were by your party. And then Oba Beka say, and I will say all this while, no, the 8-year period or the 7 years period they've been in existence, you are saying that probably we shouldn't have even set out that office. And even that time, what was your position? And I now be the MP na Obamiahu opposition.
Obi oni mi bia nim say abring nyinara me si ginaye ana me feel say office of the special prosecutor no ehu hia enti a me ka say hu hia ne say minua ye wo agencies bebre wo memu a ekoketa ase hye de proye dada wo hwe the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice obiye nim wonjumedi a wadi wukruma. In fact, one independent state board, constitutional body, a brebiano, nkrofo the petitions ko wongo ebra aban bi party bi wa aban mu efa wonipa bi a oye adwuma ma wo mu na eba ne saa omo hwehwe asem nim bra aban ne wo ho no na omo ye omo findings etia wo omo saa bre no omo ntwen ma aban no nko position ansa. It is also 1996 Ubekaya Shraj the findings for your PV or being over two jazz. Sabre PV or be no abem. Yes, friend the Prime Minister. Rollins Abreso, a Prime Minister.
It was that powerful.
No, very powerful. Rollins Abreso, Ira Rollins Abreso. Na Shraj, only have findings against Ira Agyei Baffour. No, a presidential staffer in charge of Cocoa Affairs.
Okay.
Dear natural. Chone say, sa organization sebe na utumi si ginaye etia amanyofo ebra wo wa abai so hwe Ira president Kofo penso edam Shraj so eba doctor ana ne de nadwuma ye den eto wo president Kofo ka chen so mfa nadwuma nto no nkoku emra o de nadwuma ye den eto wo hwe Shraj krona former director of Senate, chief executive of Senate, near Freno, Ira Kwamiado. Omunso, Omuni
under Kufo.
Debbie under Rollins.
Okay.
Ira Rollins. Shraj Krona is the only agent, is the only independent constitutional body. I investigated a certain president.
Okay.
Which is Ira John Mahama.
Okay.
A Ford expedition in Sensem. Inti Shraj no wachire se owo akukuduro aye ne aban a ote ho ani munipa eden inti wachire sa de no inti de esese ye ne se yehwehwem de inti a ebia sebe wontu bi mfa nipa asotwe bi nyeden enya adwuma prosecutorial powers na omunye den omunie inti se ne 2 million na edebe mo true constitutional amendment. Yenye dai, yenhwe ne yenwene ho. Hwiyoko. A lot of the major prosecution of politicians are cause one. Yoko na investigations. So, Financial and Intelligence Commission. FIC. Omunso hwom dwumadia omudi. So, into already who are 3 anti-corruption agencies. We here for Frobeka. So, Okofa for Frobeka ho na wo se na ho de bro miensa yi so. Ana odi dwumasuo bi a wenu mie ya anye den.
Enye.
Na se mfie nwotwe achi. Na se ni dwuma wo die no sebe o se any cases kura wo court kura wo die na emiensa pa de na chiro.
So your position is that after 8 years President Mahama go office of the
review
say
ye ni hu nkomo ni ye hwe se sebe dwumasuo na omudie no ye ntumi hye the existing agencies of state no be emomonye. Do you need 3 anti-corruption agencies? 3.
Maybe ana corruptions in the doors.
Epacho say a doors one say be one dwumadi na kire. Economics of scale, demand and the supply. It's say nipa no inferior say inferior watwe achi na cases a wodi nyina ya miensa. Now budget I would call her 149 million. Now with 3 other anti-corruption agencies. Now bisa we say to me be na we wa omudi omunye de omuni bi. Any sa de to me a papa me de man no or dance no. Right? Sa to me no memfa ma miensa na e wo ho no mu ba akondada. Opanyi 149 million cedis a year. And now no yakwaje grant be free. India holds a saying $30 million. Are they? Now, what $30 million?
148 is around some $10 million.
Okoji $13 million. Now what the 148 and 8 as a 9 at the Juma way no. Not just a crowd no sebi, minimum priorities. So meaning say a can issues of corruption Ghana for kuma a crossroad. They are right. Because sebi ubi no beka chose for assemble day a kodo. Ana sebi ubi no person to tax e mo bi so ye day.
So ungudi.
Into they are right. No, let's begin to look at a more efficient way of dealing with corruption. And I may make references to institutions of state. Sebi issues of corruption no or me di hujuma enya results amaye. So bobo na sebi wo team na team ya dia establish
David
sanity. Inti yen starting nin komono. Hey, corruption is denying for hospital. Corruption is denying for good schools. Corruption is denying for good lives. Corruption is a very selfish enterprise that should not be encouraged. Good. How do we fight it? Do we fight it by having 4 state agencies? Meanwhile, to me, a parliament in the we special prosecutor, office of the special prosecutor, to me, my parliament create here. FIC, to me, my parliament create here. Yoku, to me, my parliament create here. The provisions of Omo Emrana, Emo to me, more down soon. Being in a parliament. Being in a parliament. Into a parliament. Into me, BB. NCV, Sika.
I get you. Parliament, but I think our system required the executive has to introduce the act through the Attorney General or whatsoever or the Beba. Now, you asked a question during the vetting of the current Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine. You mentioned that in the NDC's manifesto, they mentioned a public tribunal. Clearly, from a question, Ubusa, you're Attorney General, no? What your own force say? Yabeye public tribunal. Recently, Yera Mahama, His Excellency, has mentioned that we need a fast-track court to handle corruption and corruption-related matters. Saying here, it will bring results. So, how do you? Why are you against this public tribunal and the fast-track court? Yera Mahama can
we are against it. And you may be brass if you kuma. Your man for the banal statement a brain so. Court, the fast track anything.
Say tentem specialized court.
Into a procedure. Court to be a procedure na yejuma. Say ben in terms in terms a procedure court to near the yejuma. It is a
no correct.
Or Criminal Offences and Procedure Act, what you use since 1960. 1960.
Yes.
How many years?
At 30. That should be some 40 plus 3, so some 65 years. Some 65 years.
In Tisa obedience we be ntamenyan temno. Wo procedure no. I don't know so amend it. And your court for fraud. Tribunal na semna omo kano. Se ho no mpe so mo twen adwen kosia. Mesrew, go back and check the records on the tribunal.
Okay.
Tribunal was never fast track. Was never fast track. Tribunal no a panel and will be chair. Intine se panel near me and sana nipa ba akwa ma adwuma panel ni intime city.
Yeah, Rian to bit mabo be at any point in time. Okay.
So what I say. Enti my dream say yen solve a problem. Because yen to yabo ase enti problem no ase. Corruption is a problem. One of the reasons why a corruption war power is because there's no synergy between state agencies. there's no synergy.
What do you mean by that?
State agencies, no, obi eye na adwuma nko, silos. Obi ate ne ba bi eden eye na adwuma nko. But eye na omo nyine operate together. Share information, share intelligence. That is the first step to curing corruption. So what am I trying to say? Because the man we bring corona and muna AC is a common share information together, and it's being speared. A friend is saying it's being coordinated well. For one area corruption, but from the internet makers. For example, say now what is ECG? ECG. Omo containers be a buy. So what?
Whatever.
Containers na wahinfa.
Port
wine sem na wo.
Aban. Ghana Port and Harbour.
Te ade na ECG ade esi aban porta etumira.
Okay. The minister so obe
Ana me sure say ade ECG ade si porta etumira.
Ayera nti say ayera.
Good. Because there's no proper coordination. So to make sure I say, our governance architecture no, is problematic. That we are organized. So we who state agents, we are who. But we say we are part of an ecosystem for the proper functioning, right, and successful execution of government business or government interest. It will be a sort of young. So what I say, CSR ECG, the near man port.
Sure.
Another make on to my say. Seeing yet CSR ECG near man could support man in Yara. So what I say, Obi to me kwaji loan from a state agency, a state financial institution. Oji loan na went ya na case ne court. Say na court ni si who case no. It's very important. When your judgment state agencies were hard to say financial intelligence commission. Right. And I say yoko. Omuwo to me say omutimi hunkro for cra council. Also omutimi boa state financial institution to recover his money. At the end of the day, say bank cannot perform as a bank so na sia. Why is it cannot this one as? Exactly. Exactly. Tema oil refinery. A struggle all these years, no. Ye pesi ye boa na
ye revamp
no. One year the tax better no so be ni siga.
Yeah, exactly. So tribunals ni hu here because if we do a more state institution now they act in a way with Senate
corruption by form. I think it's corrupt because there's a lot of waste in the system. So to mention I say. 2, tribunals no hu here, let's reform our rules of procedure for criminal cases. What I say? That 3, who sika bi adbe tribunals as small courts. So what I say? And spend this and alternative criminal administration system. Who is this guy? 5, tribunals, a very bad part of our history. Invoking bad memories of court to be a newo Ira Rollins, soja bere so penso. Na yede boye ma menom yede huru ye wo fa ne ye papa nom ma binum dwane ye bisa bezes secondary school bezes ye do mo call tribunal any headmasters
and the Gen Z for ne
ni nyino mu so mu sha so anything na leak on you or ye do be your Singapore nyina wie ye no he decided say obe capture no in a book. Today the history of this country, politicians, but so more twisted on. No creating history either. So I say, David. Na tade anu wo hye wo sere so no. O de hye de wodrop mu. E to da bi na ni pe praise no a no akohwe no akai. No wo su kakra. Na waba form. History humbles. History, it humbles and guides you into the future.
Right.
By yeti kromai. Even in history crown politicians for person you can't any history.
Do founders there and talk about either apostrophe S or S apostrophe and also
in history. It must be told by historians. Let somebody who takes a position right. Let another person who takes a contrary position right.
And let's see.
And let the scholars or academicians analyze and put a judgment on it. And say, my history politicians was like, say, yanchichiri cruiser. Kuchichire no. Yeni yina na yesika o. Ya woni yamabia mo beye no nkakra. It means it's a crew. What you say? And ana me kan se mi chire obi. Okopa bi ti say England opani. Hwekru da bebre kru na sabi wura mu a. I thought be ani mu ayesum pukusu. And so hankasa abeko. Adintia. It's been built on history, wisdom, knowledge. I don't know this can ever. And again, I yeti. Ubehuna state agency bako we sit down 10 years in ye. 11 years time, 10 years time. We say opeso ye budget see office for fraud. Ochina say in fear do you achieve 50 years time for the purposes of tourism. That's how person dem crofo kohwe agency ni dan de na de correct.
Get it.
Yen chichire man sa. Se ni yesi chichire man, yen sa na ye chichire no. O te me chona.
Matthias,
deliberate. Yen kakran.
When we are guided by our history, tribunal, it would even come up. I get you. My last question, now, conversation about me who Kumasi block MPs in the interest of development. Because me mama mo epiafo. Na Kumasi, Greater Kumasi, I think say 11 constituencies me boy. Asawase, Menshia North, South, Banta Menshia Yeso. Ufuri krum ekofa kwada so tafo nyina bobeka ho 11 no ene MPP ba opposition because me hu sasa wase MP eka Kumasi blog MPs no me hu no ena mo ba MPP ba opposition na hu the essence of putting yourself together because your leader Asenso Boache has been what we call it a cabinet minister and a member of parliament before he a co-opposition or a cabinet minister anti Kumasi block MPs and a multi Kumasi block MPs. What is the rationale?
Pacho bibia sebe yesu we fina ye kofa inchi achia emuye esna bibu nyina inti se nwra ne ya anya ene ye ya enzeri bibia ni wa nye da ko ne de shaase bibia nso e shaase bia nwra ne bi ni ho
e de wabu ani yi o wabu ani yi
so ta se
Matthias
inti we de mesremo enwra amaso ene abaso inti menyi ni se we a big issue
okay
ya anya 100 years time ene ni abaye so aso se mpimi nu apanyi mu ntaka so we minister na da age so enso bibia ni wa ye kono ho fa adwenkyere
to ka Kumasi block MPs no
oka ho ye kono ho fa adwenkyere ni afutuo ko Kumasi block MPs no enye kuo umu ani adwenjwen ni ema bi ho yes we ye bo Kumasi abeboa ti wo amwa da age mo me enko ne ekọ
I get you. As a lawyer, thank you so much for Wadaje and for helping us to understand this. This has been the Law Lab. The video is proudly sponsored by Life Meat Furniture Company Limited. Thank you.